Had a puncture, but that's the way it is. We lost a bit of time. Could be worse. So into the third stage of the event, 17.6 kilometers. Sari on board again with Kevin Abbring, rally leader now, 6.7 seconds ahead of teammate Craig Breen in the other Peugeot at the start of the stage. All going well so far. A little bit over ambitious perhaps, or really not quite aware how much the hairpin handbrake turn was going to work for him then. Almost spun it, got away with it. Well, his time 10 minutes 9. Craig Breen battling for the lead. He's been behind the Dutchman on the first two stages. Can he strike back and narrow the gap?
Into flat 2 left.
Irishman adding into the notes as he drives. Abbring 10:09.7, and Breen at the flying finish is going to be quicker by 3.8 seconds. Fastest on the stage.
I don't know, the surface is so slippy in some places and it looks the very same as it is everywhere else, so very difficult to predict, but we've got around it anyway, and the speed hasn't been so bad.
What about Kaito? Well, Kajtanovic struggling to keep up with the Peugeots. Here's Ford Fiesta R5, not able to match their pace. He lost time on the previous stage with that understeering problem, caused him to try and find reverse. Battling for third place with Brian Bouffier. The M Sport car goes through, 10 minutes 13.1. Bouffier losing time with that puncture. Damage, you can see the legacy of that on the right front corner. He was 7.5 seconds away from Kajtanovic in third place at the start of this stage. Whoa, and that's why you don't stand right by the tapes at a runoff area. Still comes through 3 seconds faster than Kajtanovic. Bahrain need to improve. Had a puncture on stage 2, overshot on stage this one. Not good, he said. Car's going well, but the driver not so. Pekka Lappi, the championship leader, not having a great morning in the Skoda. He jumped the start on this one after being too tardy away from one of the previous stage starts, so he gets a 10-second penalty. 6th overall, but over half a minute back now, 33.4 seconds adrift of leader Kevin Abbring. And as for Bruno Magalhaes, a while since we've seen him in European Rally Championship action. His Super 2000 Peugeot 207 is on a hard Pirelli compound, lacking grip. He will switch to the softs for the afternoon to try and find a bit more speed. 7th place overall in the older Peugeot. So Abbring leading by 2.9 from Breen, the brand new cars on top of the pile. Kajtanovic in the R5 of the Ford Fiesta, and the Citroen R5 right behind for Brian Bouffier. Sepp Wiegand in 5th place ahead of the championship leader. Lappi struggling, only the second best of the Skodas. So heading for midday service on the bay of the Gulf of Corinth and Loutraki. As you can see, a little bit windy, still cloudy overhead. Our rally leader, Kevin Abbring.
We've
got a very important tyre choice to make for this afternoon. It's going to go one way or the other, but at the moment, everything's going well for us. We're learning a lot on every single stage. Well, the drivers await the very last moment to try and make those all-important tyre choices for the afternoon stages. Abbring will take hard Michelin with a softer pair of tyres in the back of the car. So drivers heading for stage for the first of the afternoon loop. Coming next. Welcome back to Greece. Day 1 of the Acropolis Rally, round 3 of the European Rally Championship for 2014. We're into the final leg of stages. It's the second pass of the stages they ran through in the morning. Stage 4, the longest of the day at over 30 kilometers, and that is going to have a little bit of rain, it would seem, in the middle. Over 23 kilometers rather. So stages 4 and 5 then, Saturday afternoon. Ios Ioannis, first one, and drama again for Sepp Wiegand. Busy hands.
Links. Gucken, ob das nur die Felge ist. Geht das hier vom Platz her? Ja.
They're going to have to stop in the stage and bail out. Left rear wheel. And Wiegand on the phone. It's more than just tyre damage. It looks like the suspension is a bit of a write-off. Fastest time, meanwhile, for Kevin Abring, despite fluid leaking from the front of the car, which he will need to trace after the stage. He was fastest in stage 4. Stage 5, the longest of the afternoon, finds him in a lay-by. Well, he and Seb Marshall, his co-driver, are out of the event. And that leaves Craig Breen, third fastest through stage 4, second fastest on stage 5. And he will be hoping that whatever afflicted his teammate's car is not going to strike twice. That would be very tough indeed for Peugeot. They need miles to continue with the development progress of this brand new car.
You know, it's really disappointing that 2 cars on their debut event in the European Championship are first and second, so it's very disappointing for him, but it's okay. It's good for our rally. We'll just have to see how the guys are coming behind.
I'm talking about behind. This is Esa-Pekka Lappi in his S2000 Skoda Fabia. Long straight here, and he is on the rev limiter. The R5 cars have got a higher top speed than the older Super 2000 cars like the Skoda and the 207 Peugeot Bruno Magales. 5th quickest on stage 4, 3rd quickest on stage 5. Bearing in mind those 2 retirements, of course. That brings him back into contention. Championship leader, 4th overall now.
Top speed is 170.
170?
Yeah. So the Peugeot and Ford is going almost 200, so it's there's a big gap.
There's a big gap indeed for Fiesta R5 then with better top speed. Good battle between him, Kajtanovic that is, and Brian Bouffier behind him. The pole 2.2 seconds slower, quicker rather than Bouffier in stage 4, but slower than Bouffier in stage 5. Bouffier went through stage 5 quickest of all, and Kajtanovic losing 5.7 seconds. So heading into the final stage today, the Ford driver 2nd overall, a second ahead of Brian Bouffier. So heading into Psari, the last stage of the day. Again, little sprinkle of raindrops, not much, but a few wet sections in the stage. There have been many years in past Acropolises where the drivers would have begged for the relief of some rain. This is not the height of the summer though. Craig Breen, fastest through this stage, first time in the morning. Can he repeat it? Comes the flying finish with a 10-minute 0.7 second. He has the overnight lead.
A bit slippy in some places, but glad to get to the end of the first day. I'd really hoped to think we could keep on to the lead overnight. I think it'll be a fantastic achievement.
Esa-Pekka Lappi, 4th quickest. And he loses nearly 7 seconds to Craig Breen, 6.9 slower through the test. But with gravel coming up for day 2, he could still be a big threat.
So far it's dry, but yeah, when it starts to, you can see the drops in the windscreen, so immediately you start to, scare, because it was so slippery in the first one of this loop, so yeah, I took a bit careful at the end.
Kajtanovic battling hard with Brian Bouffier for 2nd spot. The Ford versus the Citroën, behind the Peugeot, ahead of the Skoda. Well, his confidence growing in this car all the time on these tricky Greek tarmac stages. Just 2.3 seconds adrift of Craig Breen.
To był bardzo dobry odcinek. Prawdopodobnie mamy drugi czas.
A good stage. At least I guess so. I think we're 2nd at the moment.
Się dobrze, ale
Very happy with the way it's been going today. Car's great. The team done a really good job. Tomorrow, though, will be a completely different day. Second day of the rally. Going to be very different from today. So, what will Brune Bouffier do in the Citroën DS3? This is the regional rally car version of the DS3. Pushing hard, ignoring those few spots of rain, and he's a second behind Craig Breen. Good end to the day. I made a few mistakes. The car, though, has been perfect. Tricky conditions, so I think we're pretty happy with the way it went. Tomorrow, though, another big day to come. And for Vasily Gryazin, who we met at the beginning of the show, the Russian driver, 6th quickest, and so he will end the day in 5th place overall. He too might be more confident on the gravel of the second leg, but Craig Breen in the brand new Peugeot leads the field, 14.7 seconds ahead of Brune Bouffier and Kai Kotanovic, who are just 3/10 apart in the battle for the other podium places. And some of our gravel exponents behind them could well put in a challenge in day 2. For now, though, Craig Breen not only the rally leader, he's also top of the ERC Asphalt Master standings after the all-tarmac first day. 5 points ahead of Abraham and Bouffier. Leg 2 will count for the Gravel Master standings. So heading into service, 5 o'clock this afternoon. Busy time for the teams. They've got to change the setup of the car from tar to gravel. So brakes, shocks, anti-roll bars, differential settings, ride heights, a whole slew of adjustments to return the cars from tarmac racer to the sort of thing that is more likely to survive the rigours of the rocky roads of the Corinth Peninsula. This is now going to head into day 2 on gravel. The old-style Acropolis may well have a tale or two to tell. And of course, they'll need to choose their tyres carefully as well for tomorrow's stages. Breen saying, of course, there's a big difference between these two kind of tyres. The tarmac tyre doesn't have a lot of tread, only 2 grooves just in case of wet for stop you aquaplaning. As you can say, it's pretty wide, pretty flat and pretty smooth. These 2 longitudinal grooves are really doing all the clearing away of the water. The gravel tyre, though, many more tread blocks. The surface is much looser, more slippery. The tyre moves a bit more and digs in a lot more to generate more grip. The gravel tyre is smaller than the tarmac as well, so you get more lateral grip from it. It's not as wide. It's more reinforced. The sidewalls are stronger. You can hit big stones sideways without picking up a puncture, hopefully. Tarmac tyre moves around a little bit, but it has to be flexible to gain grip at the grip levels that it will be generating. On tarmac, we've got 4 Michelin compounds, super soft, R11, R21, R31, so that's super soft to hard across the range according to the surface and temperatures and rain and so on. On gravel, 2 compounds, S1 and H1. H1 is recommended for this rally because there's lots of rocks, but if it starts raining and the surface cuts up, then we'll look at taking the S1. So the teams and the drivers are set for the second day of the Acropolis rally. Join us tomorrow to see what happens in round 3 of the 2014 European Rally Championship. Greece's fabulous Rally Acropolis.